75 through 81, promotions director, PSA director, on air. I'm currently a superintendent and a principal at a high school and an elementary school in Northern California mountains. But I did work in the industry after I got out, my very first job. And I also used to work at PACE. It used to be known as the Performing Arts and Cultural Affairs Committee. And we co-produced a lot of concerts. And that was my first job after radio, is going and working for the Stone family in San Francisco.
My name is Robert Benjamin, and it's also Ben, and it's Ben Sustanovich, and Dick Havoc, Lance Boyle, I think I've been known by. Fritz Krieg was another one. I started at KCSC in 1977, and I walked into Ayers Hall and probably never really walked out. And this room here, I think, was a PACE meeting, and I met one of the most talented people I ever met, and married her about 10 years later. So right there, KCSC is responsible for my life. And went on, did radio, went to a lot of different places, and when I figured radio was really kind of over and I was going to do something else, something popped up, and it was an opportunity to come back to Chico and work with 4 radio stations. So that's what I'm currently doing now.
Roland West. I was here, to the best of my recollection, 1980, 81, 82. Ended up going down to Long Beach to finish up my school and got into radio in Long Beach at KCSC. I worked there for about 3 years doing afternoon on-air music director and assistant program director. They went through a merge and became probably more famously known as Pure Rock KCSC, and then I ended up over at K-Rock in Los Angeles for a year, doing everything I could behind a microphone there. And in 88 rather, I moved up to San Francisco and spent almost 10 years at Live 105, being a music director and assistant program director there. Another merge came along, and granted it was a 10-year run there, so I always feel like I've been incredibly lucky in this business. I ended up joining the record side. I've been working for Def Jam, Island Def Jam Records for the last 13 years doing marketing and promotion. KCSC, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for KCSC, if I hadn't been dragged into a friend of mine's overnight radio show, watching what he did. 2 hours into it, he was falling asleep. I said, hey, I'd love to do that. I don't even want to talk, I just want to do what you're doing, the records go on together. It's fantastic. Changed my life.
Fred?
My name is Fred Scott. It's been my name in my entire radio career. I was in the dorms with the person that Robert married, so I have to blame her for getting into KCSC. And then after KCSC, worked at a couple of stations in the Bay Area for a few years at KTM and KVRE, which are San Rafael and Santa Rosa, respectively.